Hey y'all, I'm Karen Mayer Cunningham, the special education boss. If you've ever felt confused, overwhelmed, or just plain frustrated at the 504 IEP table, you are in the right place. Every week, I'm breaking down the rules, the rights, and the realities of special education so you can walk into meetings informed, empowered, and ready to make real change. And whether you're a parent, a teacher, an advocate, a school-based member, or somebody who's just trying to do right by a student, this podcast gives you straight talk, real answers, and tools that you can use immediately. I'm not here to play politics. I'm not here to play sides. I'm here to train people who sit at the table and teach you how to follow the law, ask the right questions, and protect the rights of students. So go ahead and hit subscribe, share this with a friend, and you know what? Meet me back here every single week. We're not just talking about change. We're making it. Because when you know better, you do better. And when we get it right for the child, we get it right for everybody. Hey, y'all, welcome back. If we haven't met, I'm Karen Mayer Cunningham, special education boss, training everyone. This is the 504 IEP table to navigate and negotiate successful student outcomes. So we're very excited about our book that's coming out in just a few weeks, and we want you guys to pre-order the Epic IEP. But people have been asking me, why did I write the IEP, the Epic IEP? Why did I write the book? Because I've been teaching for almost 30 years and doing this process, and I love training people in person. I love training people virtually. But there's so much information that you need to learn, and only so much that people can learn and take in at one time. So we wrote the Epic IEP so that you would have, in case I leave the planet tomorrow, the exact protocols, processes, and practices that we use to serve kiddos at the highest level. And we want you to have that information. And the book is written for us. Who is us? Everyone that sits at the IEP table, the parent, the educators, and the advocates. And so we've seen so many trainings for educators that are academic books, evaluators, those sorts of things, but not really something that was actionable. We have federal law books, which I love because I'm a lunatic nerd and I like to read statutes. Not really necessarily helpful when you're at an IEP meeting with 15 other people. And so this gives you the exact framework that I use literally for every client that I serve, whether it's a due process, whether it's a federal complaint, whether it's a records review, whether it's, sitting down with them, making sure that they have the right goals for ESY. So we're excited for you guys to have it. We need it, right? We need more than ever to get on the same page about how to write an Epic IEP, because if the paperwork's not right, the program can't be right. And we have amazing teachers and educators who love kids, but usually when they get the paperwork, it either means nothing, or there's so much in it, or there's so many pages, and the paperwork's become like part of the learning the software, and instead of learning the student. And so this is what it's going to teach you. It's informative. We take the technical stuff and make it understandable, but most importantly, it's actionable. It's not a book of information. It's not an information dump. It is literally how I get up every day and serve every kiddo that I serve, and how I train advocates nationally and do professional development for school districts. So if you're interested in it, and you are, because you want to be epic at the Epic IEP table, go to the epic-iep.com, order it from Amazon, come back to the epic-iep.com, put in your information about your order, and then we will release $500 worth of pre-order bonuses for those of you that pre-order, because we're super excited about you having it. And so we need to know exactly how to do it right. When we don't do it right, we've done it completely wrong. And that penalizes the student with a disability. So go get the Epic IEP and be epic. All right, questions. Hey, question for you. I'm new to advocacy. I've been working with a case for 2 years, really fighting the school. This week, they made a DHR report against the student's mother, alleging physical abuse. Have you found this to be common among school systems as a form of retaliation, perhaps? I don't find it common. It's not surprising. It just is done. I don't know why people are awful, but there are people that are awful in special education. There's people that are awful at the grocery store. There's people that are awful at church. There's people that are awful in your neighborhood, right? I don't know why people do that. It's, parents with a child with a disability are trying to get through Thursday. I think 88% of parents have a child with a disability get divorced. And so it's terrible, but yes, I've seen it happen. But we would be happy to train you to be a more amazing advocate. Come join us at the Epic IEP Academy, where we train every Monday night on how to serve kiddos at the highest level. And we do federal trainings in series, and then we open it for questions every single Monday night. So go to specialeducationacademy.com/training and get signed up. It's a monthly membership. You can stay as long as you want, leave when you want. We have hundreds and hundreds of hours of archive trainings that will be accessible to you the second you enroll. Question. I don't think this year's one-on-one is a good fit for my child. My child's regressed and started showing aggressive behaviors again, so much to the point that I'm asking for a new functional behavior assessment. Can I get a different one-on-one? So unfortunately, sometimes staff members and students, wherever they are in school, are not a fit. So can you get a new one-on-one? It's certainly not part of the IEP process, but I would go to leadership and say, I don't know that I would say, I don't like this one-on-one. I just would say, this one-on-one is not a fit for my child. So it's not a fit for my child. It's probably not a fit for the adult, and see if the principal would be amenable to look for another one-on-one to serve your student right now. Question. My child was placed on IEP. Now it's been 3 years. They've never diagnosed or tested her. Is that legal? They also took away her 504 plan and put her health into her IEP. Is this illegal? Is there anything that I can do? Thank you. So if your child is on IEP, you had to have been invited to meetings or had to have been some sort of testing. There has to be present levels. You would have to participate in those meetings, sign an agreement, disagreement, or table it at the end of those meetings. So if you've been participating in the IEP meeting, it's legal unless you disagreed and exercised your procedural rights. But if we can help you with that any further, just email us at advocate@specialeducationacademy.com. Maybe we can connect you with one of our partner advocates and they can do a records review for you. Question. I have a question. We have a special education student that consistently hurts himself and others along with teachers, but the program does nothing other than notify the parents. Is there another outlet to notify since students keep coming back and nothing gets done? So for me, and I have an obligation to do this as an advocate, I'm also a certified mediator for the family courts for high conflict divorces, elder abuse, child needs. So I have an obligation, I think we all do, when a child is unsafe and nothing's happening to support or resolve that, then I would reach out to Child Protective Services, because it sounds like the principal or staff is not willing to protect the students in that classroom. So that would be my next recommendation. If a student is unsafe and or making other people unsafe and the school is not rectifying it. Let's see. Do IEPs have to be followed when the teacher can't do it or at all times? So the IEP has to be followed based upon, the schedule of services, or on your paperwork, it might say the determination of services. So we've laid out in the present levels, the acuity, needs, and baseline, and the amazing annual goals. We've identified deficit, we're going to teach a skill, needed accommodations, and then the schedule of services page obligates us to serve that student with special education supports and services. Now, certainly, people go to lunch, people are out for the day, people are sick. And, for us, we're never looking at perfection. We're looking for progress. But if there just isn't a teacher and the teacher cannot implement an important component of the IEP, we need to look at leadership to support that teacher with more staff or more support so that can be done. Question. My 6th grader struggles with math and has had accommodations for that class, as well as a 504 behavior plan for ADHD. She struggles with emotional control and self-regulation. My daughter feels that they're constantly forcing unwanted help. And when she tells them to leave her alone, they keep pushing and say, we're only trying to help you, which makes her shut down because she doesn't feel like they think that she's capable of doing anything on her own, which really upsets her and frustrates her. This often turns into her being unproductive in class. So they've set a timer during unproductive time, and she has to keep saying after to make it up. Do you think this is appropriate? So, my mission statement is when we get it right for the child, we get it right for everybody. We don't have it right for this child right now. So I think that obviously she has capacity and the ability to talk about what she wants. And so I think that we sit down with the student, even if it's just with the parent ahead of time, or maybe the student writes an email to the IEP lead, and then we consider her input in the IEP and work on delivering her special education in a way that's discreet and helps her mitigate the acuity of her disability. Hey, special education boss. Question. I'm currently a college student getting my degree in elementary education. Thank you. Elementary education unified up to 3rd grade special education. I've applied for a limited license last year at school, but my interlocal made me a licensed teacher for which they get more funding for. This endorsement license means that my position will be under third grade. I was teaching at an alternate day school and was teaching high school behaviors. This requirement makes me do transitions and behavior intervention plans that I was not trained for. I asked to be moved to an elementary position. My interlocal told me I could hold my same position and just work with an elementary for an hour. And at the end of the day, I ended up resigning from the position because I knew that I was not qualified for the position. My interlocal claims that they did nothing wrong. What can I do to hold them accountable for putting teachers in positions they're not qualified for? The students are suffering. That's something that we go to our state legislature here in Texas and to Capitol Hill. We actually were going to Capitol Hill last week, but currently our government's not open, and we had meetings scheduled with Democratic leaders, Republican leaders. There has to be some sort of sanction mechanism when special education knowingly is violated, and it happens everywhere. It's an honor that 3/4 of the people that I actually train are school-based members. You know why? Because they love kids, they want to do right, and the training that they really, really need and want doesn't usually exist in the school district. All right, 2 more questions. All right, what's the best step for holding my interlocal accountable for putting me in that position I wasn't licensed for? Will this affect my license if I file a state complaint? That's tricky, right? So if you believe it's happening maybe to other teachers, maybe you could get an advocate to file a state complaint on a process that's occurring in your district, county, or city. But you certainly want to be very careful about putting your license in play, because I have in every way possible seen districts retaliate against their own teachers. I want more information on how to get trained as a special education advocate. So we have our amazing the Epic IEP 2-day intensive, where we train you to be an amazing advocate. That is always available on demand, so you can get it now, take it at your pace. You have the recording forever. Certainly join us and enroll in the Epic IEP Academy, which is every Monday night. I train on federal law in series. We're always doing a series. And then we open it up for questions so that you have access to real knowledge, resources, templates, where to get information, what statutes to use when you go back into that meeting, how to craft an email, how to respond to shenanigans. And you need that professional development every week. So you just go to specialeducationacademy.com/trainings and click on enrolling in Special Education Academy. If you want more training after the 2-day, we do have a mastermind, which is where we teach you exactly the entire process that I use when I serve families, and that my full-time partners use. Okay. All right. One more question, even though I said that was the last question. One more question. My son turned 3 on Saturday. Special ed meeting was on Friday. He qualifies for autism and a speech disorder. He was placed on the wait list and will have to receive walk-in speech twice a week. Wait list. When I told admin I would be filing a complaint with the Texas Education Agency, they said, give us a week. This list isn't short. Over 100 3-year-olds are not getting services. It's awful, right? So the most marginalized population, special education students, continue to be the most marginalized population. It's terrible. All right. So remember, we get it right for the child, we get it right for everybody. We'll see you back here very soon. Follow us everywhere. Follow our podcast, Special Education Boss. Get our app and download it for free in the App Store, Special Education Academy. Go. Get the Epic IEP only for pre-orders. Do we have $500 worth of free bonuses, which will include a free ticket to our live 6-hour summit right after the book comes out. So we cannot wait for you to get this in your hands. Get one for you and get one for a friend. There's another family that you know that needs this resource. They don't have the ability or the capacity to advocate for their child because they are just walking through life, right? And so this is actionable no matter who uses it, and it's going to change lives, and it's going to give kids the success they've always wanted and needed. We love you. If you need anything, just let us know. We'll see you guys in the next training. Hit subscribe, share this with a friend, and you know what? Meet me back here every single week. We're not just talking about change, we're making it. Because when you know better, you do better. And when we get it right for the child, we get it right for everybody.